Nicholas W. Stuller is the founder and CEO of MyPerfectFinancialAdvisor, a matchmaking site for investors and advisors. Nick is also the author of The Truth Shall Set Your Wallet Free, Secrets to Finding the Perfect Financial Advisor, published by Post Hill Press. Welcome, Nick.
Thanks, David. Great to be here.
Good to be with you. So let me ask you a question. How does a typical person go about finding a financial advisor?
Well, historically, investors get it by referral. They ask their dad, an uncle, someone they know in the community, religious community, golf community, whatever affinity group, and they say, "Who do you use? And do you like them?" And then they meet with them, and as long as they don't get any kind of major red flags, really from an emotional perspective, they go on to hire them. And this is really how the majority of people have hired an advisor over many years. It's not really the best way to hire an advisor because the investors really don't know much about advisors, but that's how it's happened up until recently.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. And you kind of made the key point that, as long as you don't mess it up, the advisor is probably going to have that person become a client because they've already come in with the concept that this is a good person. I'll go in, I'll make sure they're okay and talk about my situation, see if they can help me. And, as long as the advisor sounds good, makes a good impression, they're probably going to do business with them.
Exactly right. And, there's an advertisement out there that actually illustrates this. It's a phenomenal ad that illustrates a sophisticated couple asking tons of questions of the auto dealer, the arborist, the contractor, and when they come down to sit down with their advisor, they just nod and smile and agree with everything. And that's really not the ideal way to hire your professional.
Well, so let's get to the current environment. Has anything changed in recent years about how people are doing some due diligence or doing a little more than just looking at a referral to find an advisor that is not only a great advisor, but also suitable and useful for their particular situation?
There sure has. So there's been a very slow evolution over probably 15 years to try and formalize getting an advisor. And it started, with large firms that had a body of investors that would refer, their clients to affiliated or unaffiliated, I should say, advisors. But then in the last 5-6 years, technology caught up with, and frankly, the behavior and appetite by investors to use technology to find an advisor has changed things, and it's rapidly changing. So there are firms like mine, and I have many competitors that do matchmaking to really put more science and logic and remove the emotion out of the process. So for 20 years, you could buy a house on the internet. You could buy a car. A lot of people find their spouse over the internet, where before it was all personal referral. For some reason, consumers just didn't use the internet de novo to find an advisor. That has changed.
Yeah.
And that's an absolute over the past 5 years. So now people are just feel more comfortable using a search engine for advisors, if you will, to find an advisor.
Excellent. Well, I applaud what you're doing. I thought of doing it myself a few years ago, but there's only so much one person can do.
Right.
We have enough to do to keep us busy. But the key thing there is that people being able to do, which again, find my perfect advisor. That's really the essence, is find the advisor that fits for the situation. Not that was a good advisor for their friend, but that will be a good advisor for them. And we all ask around, hey, who do you use for this or that? And that's normal. We're very community oriented and how we relate to other people and find out about their experiences. But when it comes to personal finance, it really is personal, really with respect to what the person is capable of, and does that match? The advisor that somebody else is using might be incredible and maybe just fantastic at doing one particular thing, but if the person receiving the referral, that's not what they need, and maybe the advisor isn't good in their particular area, well, then you do not have a perfect match.
Absolutely. And so many younger people seek the advice of their parents' advisor. And as you say, that could be an ideal match, but it also might not be. And an example of that outside of the parent-child relationship is if you own a business and you want to, say, sell it to your employees via an ESOP, which is a very relatively arcane but incredible type of retirement tool, you want your advisor to understand what ESOPs are because it's a highly technical thing. If they don't know anything about it, and you've got your biggest asset as your company, just being a good guy and having a great golf swing and being known to the family, it just isn't good enough for you.
No.
You need someone who knows your situation. It could also be health issues, income issues, tax issues. There's so many personal issues that people don't even share amongst their own family that really they need to share with their advisor, and then you can find out if they're a match. So I agree with you completely. It's quite sophisticated how to get these two parties together.
Well, and as you well know, a lot of advisors, they want new clients, and so, they're going to have to be honest about what they're capable of and what they're not. I mean, and if they're a certified financial planner practitioner, they have a duty to, as part of the credential, to not do stuff outside of their area of expertise and refer those clients out. But as you well know, advisors don't like to give up an opportunity for a new client. I mean, that's what they're in business to do. So right. I think that this is a wonderful evolution to have this matchmaking capability, again, with the technology. So it's very good stuff, Nick, and I really appreciate what you're doing, and it's good. It's real good. So thank you. Nick Stuller, thank you, my perfect advisor.